Good morning. So today we are on behalf of House of Your newspaper meeting with Rami Shamshoum, the general manager of Hadara Technologies. Hello.
Hello everyone. How are you?
Thanks.
First of all, welcome to Hadara. Appreciate this invitation by Iqtisadi to cover some issues with regards to Hadara Technologies as a leading ISP in Palestine, as well as the internet market as a whole. Welcome to our offices.
Thank you. So first of all, what is the history of Hadara? How was it created? On which purpose? Why? When?
Okay, Hadara, if we go back around 2005, there was an initiative from Talaat Group to acquire 3 existing companies, local companies, by the name of Talaat, Alawi, and PIS. Back then, we believed as a group that internet would be definitely an industry that we need to tap in, and therefore we took a decision to acquire these 3 companies. Was formulated, the consortium formulated to be Hadara.
Okay.
Back then, we had about 64 employees, and we used to service the Palestinian customers with the basic internet back then in 2005, the dial-up.
Same everywhere.
Yeah, same exactly, same everywhere. Very limited speed. Of course, the technology wasn't advanced back then. And but yet we had a lot of reception from the customers. According to some statistics provided by the International Telecommunication Union, if we look at this chart, I'm not sure I'll read it. According to the study that they have done, the International Telecommunication Union, back in 2005, there used to be in Palestine 77,000 users of dial-up customers in Palestine. So this provided really a very positive indicator to move into this market and to this industry, because it's a growing market. During the same year, Paltel, which is the sister company, the fixed line operator, introduced the ADSL, what we all know, and we still use the ADSL technology as of today. They introduced this model in a form where there were ISPs, around 40 to 45 ISPs working in the market, but yet Paltel have introduced it to provide the service end-to-end, meaning everything from technical aspect is provided by Paltel. The ISPs usually only do the selling.
Okay.
So Hadara was involved back then only as a commercial, as an ISP commercial. We used to do the revenue sharing over ADSL lines, and we take a share of the revenue coming from the customer with Paltel. Okay. And this was the old model that survived up till 2010. Okay. Also, statistics from the same report, the number of ADSL users in Palestine back then in 2005, when we started launching the ADSL, was around 7,436 users.
Okay.
Compared to today, we did huge growth in the market. Hadara today, in terms of employees, we do have around 196 employees.
So if I understand well, it changed in 2010?
In 2010.
And what happened in 2010?
Well, this is basically one of the core factors that happened is due to the regulator, the Ministry of Telecommunication, its role in regulating the market. They have decided to introduce a new model in 2010 called BSA. BSA stands for Bitstream Access. Okay, Bitstream Access model, according to a report, actually it was recently provided to us by the Arab Advisors Group in Jordan. The issue is August 2015. They do a lot of studies, regional studies about multiple aspects, one of which is the telecom industries in the region and the internet. And they highlighted that the BSA model is applied in several countries, including Palestine, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Tunisia. These are the core, and Jordan, of course. These are the core countries that is applied on. It's a very common model,
and
we should say.
And what did it change for Hadara?
It changed a lot. It changed a lot.
So like it was separated from Paltrade?
Paltel? Absolutely, absolutely. The full separation happened during this model. We became totally independent as a company in terms of operation. Not only that, the telecom, the Ministry of Telecommunication have licensed real ISPs. Almost we have till today probably 16 or 17 companies as real ISPs. What do I mean by real ISPs? It's no longer as a revenue share and we do only commercial activities to sell. We do have a technical platform. So we provide the internet to the users. From one aspect, but Paltel also is playing a vital role as well. The model, the BSA, the bitstream access, the access line over the phone is provided by Paltel. This is, I mean, I'm a customer. I want to connect to the internet. What do? First, I apply with Paltel. I tell them I want 4 meg access. Okay, the customer buys the access from Paltel, and then he looks what offers are in the market for internet providers, okay? One of which is Hadara, and he picks any internet provider, and the internet provider would provision his line over the access of Paltel. So the customer works with 2 entities, the ISP and Paltel, okay?
And so up to today, you are the leading, like you have 60% of the market share?
We are about 50% market share.
Okay, and so how did you become the leading Palestinian ISP?
Well, first of all, we've worked, the team is very dedicated and very old in the market, okay? I think over the years we have managed to build confidence with the customers, okay? Our belonging to Paltel Group, which is the biggest company in Palestine and in employing the largest numbers after the government, I think it gave a lot of credibility as well to the market. And after 2010, it was basically we were at a crossroad because all our customers before that date, we had to, as a regulation, it was a bit tough in terms of on us as Hadara, we had to reacquire our customers all over again. So all the customers that we had previously to 2010, they became floating. I have no ownership over them, okay? And I have to reacquire them in the market again. And yet, we have won the confidence of our customers to maintain the leading position in the market, and the market share is the biggest proof.
And so how many customers do you have?
It's a bit confidential, but I can say we have exceeded more than 100,000 customers between Gaza and the West Bank. Yes, on the growth. Now this model, the BSA, have actually helped us a lot, the industry as a whole, on multiple aspects, creating real competition, which we are in favor, because without competition, I don't think you will maintain good quality and good price in terms of the customer. But having competition urged all companies to provide good quality and to compete on quality and quality of service, as well as the prices. The prices, I want to go back 2010. Yes.
We'll go back to that topic after like few minutes.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes. Okay.
So we're going to move on a bit. Just where does the internet you provide comes from? Are you like, so you are independent from Palestine, but still are you like dealing with Israeli companies, for example?
Of course not. Of course not. Of course not.
So how is it working?
We as Hadara, our internet is bought 100% from Paltel, our sister company. Okay, Paltel as the incumbent operator, Paltel has connectivity all over the area and the world, and it has partnerships with in Europe and others in terms of submarine cables, and therefore they have the ability to buy in bulk and to deal with the internet traffic, and we deal with their wholesale department in terms of purchasing internet. 100%. But definitely there are illegal activities happening due to the geographical proximity in the area. If I open the window, you will find a settlement just on top. You'll find many Israelis.
So how does it work for the network, and does Hadaras suffer from this situation regarding like the network's availability and.
There are. Can you repeat your question, please?
Yeah, like the proximity between the settlements, for example,
Yes.
and the Palestinian cities. Does it create like how could I say that?
Illegal operations?
Yes.
Of course. Of course, we have plenty of cases that we have reported, and the ministry is always active in terms of following illegal activities, whereby it's easy to cover a whole area due to the proximity via microwave. And they resell Israeli internet, and this is an illegal operation.
And is it like more powerful than yours?
No, of course not. Of course not. We are the mass market, yes, as Palestinian companies. However, there are a few limited activities, the illegal activities that is happening. This is one side of the story. The second side, as you know, that we have the cellular industry here in Palestine. Our sister company Jawad is prohibited to provide 3G and 4G, which is today is all over the world. And this is really critical for us as well as a Paltel group, and we're prohibited by the Israelis once again. Yet the Israeli companies are leaking their SIM, their 3G SIM, and they are being used by Palestinians in the West Bank and Gaza. So it's definitely. So we're competing. We're getting competition, also indirect competition, illegal competition from such activities.
Okay. My next question was like about how do you explain that the high connectivity rate you showed the graph just before, and like the high connectivity of the Palestinians, the rates far exceed other conflict zones. Like it's very like the penetration, like everybody here is using like internet. And providers and like compared to other conflict zone, it's like not the same.
Very, very interesting question. Let me tell you real hands-on experience and information out of 5 years of managing Hadara so far, and I'll tell you also some personal beliefs. First of all, let me start with another graph also provided by the International Telecommunication Union. They have a percentage of individuals using the internet in the region. Okay, if you look at Palestine, Jordan and Egypt, we're all around the 50% of individuals using the internet, okay? Yet we have above us Saudi Arabia, around the 60, Lebanon 70, Qatar and United Emirates almost touching the 90%, which is a huge penetration. However, we are here exceeding Jordan and a bit below Egypt. But I think this data also is underestimated for a very simple reason. First of all, let me give you the insight from the real experience and data that we have in terms of operation. Okay. In reality, yes, we do believe we have a major growth since 2010 and 2015. However, it's only in West Bank.
Okay.
That does not mean there's no growth in Gaza, but I'll explain it. Okay. West Bank, we have witnessed in numbers huge progression in terms of numbers of customers and speed. And this was basically due to multiple elements. One of which we started out by the said pricing. Okay, prices of internet with the new model dropped dramatically. Back in 2010, for example, a 2 meg
would for all the companies.
All the companies across because of competition, real competition, and real ISPs. We started competition leads to price erosion. So back in 2010, 5 years ago, a 2 meg would sell around 170 shekels. Okay. Today, the 2 meg is 77 shekels. So it dropped almost 100 shekel per the 2 meg. And even the 2 meg does not exist even. The lowest speed, according to the access, is up to 4. And we provide up to 30 meg on copper line via Paltel access. Okay, so the evolution of the internet progressed very fast in terms of speed. Okay, and so this is one aspect. Price is one aspect. I think also the quality of internet have progressed as well. With the new process, with the new BSA model, okay, we have to also remind ourselves that Paltel has a vested interest to grow the market as well. So, as a huge company promoting its access, we are witnessing every year at least 2 major campaigns where Paltel does a huge discount on access for new customers, bundles it with free phone local or on mobile or international. So that leads huge growth in the market in terms of new customers and newcomers. Us as Hadara and other ISPs, we grab this opportunity and we put another campaign over Paltel that makes it really attractive offer between Paltel and the ISP and Hadara in this case. So that makes huge penetration in the market. This is one side of the story that we see and we witnessed and we have proved that it's working. The other side, I think that because of us Palestinians, mainly we have limited control over borders, limited control of movement, under occupation, especially in Gaza, okay? It became that the only venue, platform to expose yourself to the outside world, whether on educational, research, business, commerce, entertainment, is the internet. And that's why when you have people that are so oppressed, you cannot travel anywhere easily, you cannot get out of the country easily, you have no exposure to the outside world, so it's simple. Your only means to expose yourself became the internet. It's a virtual tool that has no borders, no limitation, does not need permits. It's free. You feel freedom through the internet, and this is what I believe one core element that helped in the evolution or in the penetration of internet users in Palestine. Okay. Now Gaza, it's a different story. Why I mentioned that it declined in terms of number, but actually, in reality, it did not. Gaza went through a lot. The siege, the wars. The economic situation is extremely bad. The geographical compact and the density of population made it a very aggressive formula for people to share their internet line. This is one of the biggest problems, but we can understand because of the situation. One customer of Hadara, for example, would purchase an 8 meg or a 4 meg, would pay as a legit customer, but would actually share with his neighbors or the building that he's living in, the share, or sometimes resells it for very little money, really little money, 3, 4, 5 shekels. I see him as one customer, but in fact, in the back end, probably 10 customers. So because of the bad economic situation, because of the proximity and density in terms of population, you found the sharing habit spreading a lot in Gaza, and that's why we saw our numbers going down. Though the consumption is really high, it's almost double than the West Bank. And that's also another factor that supports my argument that with siege, unemployment rate is so high in Gaza, the internet is the only venue for them to breathe. Okay.
What about the Ministry of Communication? What are their actions or policies towards the internet, and are they like?
Yes, the Ministry of Communication, of course, they have a vested interest. As a regulator today, they do have an interest to see that the market is being penetrated more and more and more. More users, internet is accessible everywhere. They also have a major mandate to regulate the market so as to provide fair competition amongst licensed operators. So all these elements.
How many other companies are there?
There are about 16 to 17 companies in the West Bank. Now it's questionable how the size of the market, does it really hold 16, 17 companies? We do have our reservations on this. We think it's really the market is too small for 16, 17 players. Okay. Because at the end of the day, we are companies, private-owned companies, and we'd like to maintain a healthy bottom line, and we want to reinvest in our companies and develop and take the internet even further and develop, and so as to be at par with regional countries or even European and US-based companies that are providing advanced services. And providing advanced services requires a lot of investments. A lot of investments, the investor would look at the company. Are you making money to reinvest or not? So 16 to 17, it's really slowing the progress, I think, of companies to reinvest in their companies.
Okay, and so my last question was related to this one. Is there any kind of censorship that you can witness or that you have to suffer from while you are providing the internet services to your customers?
I need to be honest with you on this one, and I need to be honest and being proud of my answer. Unlike other countries, without mentioning names, the Palestinian government, through the Ministry of Telecommunication, made it clear that no censorship whatsoever, and nobody is allowed, or no company is allowed, to handle any inquiry by anyone to censor any or to close any hosted website or our content or whatever. So I think we're proud that this is happening in Palestine. It's promoting freedom of speech and freedom of expression. Okay. And therefore it was said loud and clear by the ministry representing the government that no censorship is allowed in this country.
Okay. And my last question, because the time is flying.
Okay.
How do you perceive internet's influence on the construction of an opposition to the Israeli occupation? So, for example, I have one example. Many is when in 2000 ICANN gave the .ps extension to Palestine, even though Palestine is not recognized as an independent state. But as an independent state online,
yes,
but
yes,
not in reality. So,
I think the internet. First of all, like any other cause in the world, you have our Palestinian cause, which is basically suffering from an occupation, probably the last occupation on the surface of this world, okay? But like any other cause in the world, when you have a group or masses of people believing in one direction or one cause, okay? The internet became a huge, major highway for them, a platform that is easy to reach anywhere in the world, for all supporters to diffuse their beliefs. Social media today is exploding with concepts and ideas backed up by a group of people with a certain cause. We as Palestinians have the same cause. We do have a major cause. I'm sure they're out there, and there are plenty of groups, so small groups or big groups, that are working for the cause, which is really trying to get rid of the occupation in any means, and having all these subordinates and supporters from all over the world, whether through social media or active communication tools on the net, and using it against that, towards that cause and against that occupation. So we are not different than anyone in the world that has a cause and using such a platform.
You witness improvement.
Of course. Every day, I mean, you see forums, you see groups, you see links between people inside and outside, supporters. Look at BDS. I mean, it's a small world. The internet made it a small world, and I think today we stand so much stronger for our cause in this huge world. But yet, due to the internet, it became such a small world that everything communicates very fast.
Okay. Thank you very much for answering my question.
Thank you for having me.